welcome to this ladder game. Let's take a look at this kingdom. We've got Swamp Shacks, which could be useful with like Poacher, Caravan Guard, Settlers. Astrolabe for plus buy, Cruise plus draw. Tanuki is trashing. Tea House is useful with Flourishing trade. Cards cost one less. You can use action places buy, so there's a ton of buys. You can get really big things going. I think on our first five, we do want to get a Tanuki, and maybe we open like Poacher, Astrolabe, Poacher, Settlers, that kind of thing. Just try to get that going. And I don't think Swamp Shacks is any good to start with. Yeah, maybe Poacher. I don't really want silvers in the deck. I can believe in Settlers or Caravan Guard. I think Caravan Guard is going to be good with Swamp Shacks later, so we open with Poacher, Caravan Guard, try to get a Tanuki into the deck, start turning our estates into Swamp Shacks and Poachers, and do that kind of stack. The Flourishing trade won't activate right away. I guess someone's got to buy Tea House, and it may be a while before we hit fives, but I mean, Tea House is just a better Poacher, so you kind of want to get those. We'll see if my opponent is going to join us. Oh, there they are. All right, so we decided on Caravan Guard and Poacher just to get our stuff going. We'll see. They took Caravan Guard. I think on this 3, I will take Astrolabe. Just start getting the plus buy into play. It's a unique for Swamp Shacks. And we do get through our deck, and here we'll take a Tanuki. We're going to have quite a bit of money here, so we can consider doing some kind of summon tricks. We'll have 6 and 2 buys. We can just get like 2 Caravan Guards. I guess Caravan Guard Swamp Shack is just mean we're going to have a huge draw engine. So maybe I already turned this estate into a Swamp Shack just because I'm going to have so many cards in play. Or I just take all the Caravan Guards, get 3 Caravan Guards this turn, and then get the Swamp Shacks later. Like right here. We have 5 here, so we can summon a Swamp Shacks. That doesn't do a ton. We can also pick up something else. We can get like Caravan Guard Settlers, just to get tons of actions. And then we get the Swamp Shacks into the next shuffle. Yeah, summoning Swamp Shacks does not really seem to work for me, and I think I do just want more cheap action cards into the deck. Somewhat annoyed to draw the Settlers at the top of the shuffle, but not a huge deal. And here's where we do start focusing on getting some Swamp Shacks into the deck. We'll grab a Swamp Shacks, we'll grab another Caravan Guard, and I feel pretty good that we have a Astrolabe. It'll be useful for plus buy. We'll see what my opponent is doing here. They've gotten a second Tanuki, which was something I could have done. I hit 5, but I had 2 buys. I guess you can turn coppers into Settlers in this kingdom, but I feel like draw is going to be pretty easy to come by with the Swamp Shacks. Oh my. So I can do here a summon of a Swamp Shacks. I played 4 Caravan Guards on this turn, so it will draw me cards. I can also look to get some other stuff, or just get like 1 Swamp Shacks, 1 Caravan Guard, and feel pretty good about the next shuffle. And hopefully find our Swamp Shacks when we have all these Caravan Guards in play. One of the nice things about Tanuki is we can turn a copper into something. So we have 11 here, which could be Tea House Swamp Shacks. It could be double Swamp Shack. And it could be summon Swamp Shacks even. I don't think that's going to do anything for me next turn other than the plus actions. So I want to save the Tanuki for the estate trash. I can also summon a Caravan Guard, summon a Poacher, um, and do something like that. So I think I'm not going to do this. Um, so get a tea house for the money and get another Swamp Shacks. Is there any reason not to summon it? I guess there's not a reason not to summon it. Um, because it will let me activate the other Swamp Shacks next turn. So I'm feeling okay position here. They do have the second Tanuki, which is quite nice. We will take you. All right, so the first Swamp Shacks will draw a couple of cards. Go ahead and play the Tanuki now. What do we want to turn the estate into? The last Caravan Guard? Or another Swamp Shacks? I think we want the last Caravan Guard. Maybe the Swamp Shacks are going to be just better. Caravan Guard. Okay, so now we're drawing a ton of cards. And okay, we have overshot our money situation, but that's okay. So we're drawing deck. We can add like a crew for draw. We can add a rice for plus buy. Probably that seems like one of the very useful things to add. So like buy a rice, summon swamp shacks, and then be very considerate about the piles running next turn. My opponent has 2 Tanukis. I have 1. I have 2 sources of plus buy. Once Flourishing Trade goes, plus buy is going to be essentially infinite. So that is something to watch out for. If we can activate plus buy and then buy out like estates or something. But yeah, I guess I'm probably going to try to turn my Poacher into a Tanuki this turn as well. We're both drawing decks. We're getting very close to 3-pile territory. Not quite there, but if you can gain and play tea houses, potentially that's a thing. I'll click all of these. I'm not certain why I have to click everything through here, but okay. So we decided we were going to Tanuki the Poacher into something, another Tanuki. To another Tanuki, which we can now gain and play something. Turn a copper into another settler, for example. Seems reasonable. Turn a settler into a something. And I probably am going to summon summon a Swamp Shacks this turn, which will empty that pile, hurting their poachers. I have played only 1 Caravan Guard this turn, so that's going to be a little dicey for my next draw. Crew is potentially a card I want to add, but let me just go ahead and take action cards. I don't even know if I want to play this tea house because of the plus buy situation. If they play both tea houses, I still see how that buys will give them enough money to pile out, so I think I will go ahead and end here. 21 and 3 buys. I think I'm always summoning a Swamp Shacks. The rice gave me 6 money in a buy. So like summon a Swamp Shacks, buy a rice, and buy a province. And feel like the 6 victory points should be enough to block a pile out. Is summoning Swamp Shacks any better than just summoning Caravan Guard? Maybe not. Maybe just summon Caravan Guard. And then buy another rice and buy a province. And I drew well, so we're going to see a turn next turn. Of question is how much payload can they get to? They don't have any plus buy, so all their payload's coming from. Well, Flourishing trade is plenty of buy, right? So they'll have 8 buys or something. The question is how much payload will they have? So our Flourishing trade doesn't give you buys. It gives you, yes, it gives you buys and, yeah. So what they're saying is if they don't pile out this turn, they're certain that I will pile out next turn and win. I still have not fully grasped how Flourishing trade works. They're doing gain and play. Can they buy 8 estates here? Do they have enough actions to get to 8 buys and 8 money? We've already got 8 money. And I'm looking at 3 buys now. I think they get there. I don't know what pile they're going for. Is the estate pile the one? How many swamp jacks do they have? They got an Astrolabe. Okay, that's a coin and a buy, right? Which is nice. Bustling Village is also a buy, but it's a gain too, so we'll see. They did gain a Bustling Village. So they have 6 buys, which is not enough to pile out on Bustling Villages or estates. So it looks like, unless I'm missing something, that I should be winning here. Yeah. I think I figured out the win there, but good game, and they want to play another one, so I'll go ahead and jump right in.